Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Listen, when you're dealing with deception or when you're dealing with a trap, it's meant for you not to notice it. So don't blame yourself. Some of you have been trapped. Some of you were deceived into many things. Stop blaming yourself. The enemy has been roaming around for thousands of years, deceiving hundreds of millions of people, probably billions. They are experienced. And those wolves in sheep's clothing that serve those evil spirits, they receive that experience of those demons. Now, those demons aren't that wise or that smart. I'm not going to praise them, but they have understanding. They know how to trick people. So let me tell you about deception and about traps. There is always one thing that's missing that should be there, but it's not there. But because the data is presented to you in such an orderly way, you are captured by the order of what's being presented onto you. You are overwhelmed and you are pleased by the facts. But that's why it's important to sit down for a while, or you go to sleep for a while, or you do something fun, you're in a relaxing state, and then you go through the message again. You go through the facts. You don't go too much into details. Go through the headlines of what's being said, or the headlines of the message, or what's going on. Or maybe the situation you're evaluating. So look at the situation, look at the big lines, look at the bigger picture. And once you're looking at the bigger picture, then you can zoom in here and there. And let me tell you, if it's a deception or if it's a trap, you'll notice, you'll sense that something doesn't add up. When you look at the bigger picture, look, let me say it like this. If you are a doctor, if you have a doctorate in art and you know how to distinguish fake paintings from real paintings, you have spent so much time with real paintings that once a fake painting is presented onto you, you just look at the big painting, at the bigger picture, and then you zoom in here and there and you notice, hold on a minute, this shadow ain't right. It captures you. You get what I'm saying here? It's in a similar way when someone works at the bank and he or she is known with real cash. Once fake cash, counterfeit money enters the bank, he or she just in the relaxed mode, they check it out and realize, hold on a minute, this watermark in the right direction. In a similar way, when you are in agreement with Christ, when you agree with Him, when you become Christ-centered, I'm not saying you're going to notice everything because you're not looking into darkness, you're not looking for what's wrong. No, you're walking in the light. You're not meditating on darkness. However, because you're operating in the light, when deception or traps arrive, because you remain in prayer, because you remain active supernaturally, you will notice that something is missing. In every deception and in every trap, there is something missing. Okay, let me give an example to you. It can be that you enter a village. Okay, I use this example a lot already, but okay, let me use it again. You enter a village. Everyone says hi to you. You're a tourist. Or let me say you are an expat. You arrive in a village in Panama. You stay there for a few days. And people are friendly towards you. You're from Europe or you're from America, backpacking. And everyone smiles to you, everyone's friendly. And it all appears nice. And let's say you have a few friends. Let's say now you're Skyping with a friend of yours. And let's say I'm that friend and I'm talking to you on Skype. And you tell me, oh, Rashid, I arrived at this village in Panama. People are so nice, they're so kind. They cook for me and all of that. You know. Then I ask, okay, how old are the people on average? You say half of them are elder people, the others are youngsters. Then I can say, okay, that can be so because most young people go to the city to study or to live over there. But then I ask you, show me some pictures of the neighborhood. And I look at the pictures and I think, hold on a minute, these buildings, they look too old. And then I go into Wikipedia and do my research. I look for the name of that village. And I can't find it anywhere. And then I'm going to think, hold on a minute, something doesn't add up here. So what's going to happen now? What's happening now is that I notice that something doesn't add up. And because I notice that something doesn't add up, I look further. And then I talk to the situation with a friend of mine from Latin America studies who has been to Panama often, and I talk about this village. And a guy looks at me and thinks, what, Rashid, you talk about that village? I ask what's going on with the village. He tells me that village is used by pagans to sacrifice people. There are expats going over there, and the first few days they treat you very kind and all, but afterwards they turn on you. But often when they turn on the expats, the expats are not even aware of it. Not every expat that visits that village is being harmed, but often people go missing. There are often people go missing in that region in Panama, and they are kidnapped by people from that cult. Now I found this out, so then I go on Skype and I would tell that friend of mine, dude, pack your bags, get out of that village. I don't care how kind and nice people were towards you. Haven't you noticed that many of those buildings are quite old? Shouldn't those buildings be maintained? I mean, you get what I'm saying here? There was something missing in the situation that friend didn't see. But I, at a distance, I could notice it. That's why I'm telling you. Well, whenever you're dealing with deception or a trap, there's always something that's missing. Now, don't become suspicious and fearful, always look for something that's wrong because that's a trap of the enemy, but look at the bigger picture, always. Don't just look at what's in front of you, or don't just relate to things based upon how you think. No, agree with Christ, be Christ-centered. I'm telling you, when you're dealing with deception, with a trap, there's always something that's missing that should be there. But because you have been overwhelmed by the other things that are correct, you don't see that one thing that's missing. Now, I'm not telling you to become critical and always look for faults, no. But if there's something that's missing that should be there, pay attention. Well, that being said, agree with Christ and be at peace.